Today I'm going to show you how to make shakes for your edits. I have two examples, which is low and high frequency shakes, and I'm going to make a bunch of shakes with just these two clips. I also have another clip for IRL or remap. I guess I don't really know the difference between the shakes, but somebody asked for it, so I'm here to deliver. First things first, we're going to first Twix our clip. After it's Twix, we're going to make the shake for it. Oops. To save time, I'll just use the graph. Alright, so you have your Twix, which is just something simple. Toji looks up, and now we're gonna make the shake. Oops. So this is Easy Layers. I'll put it in a Google Drive if anyone needs it. It essentially just creates nulls, solids, even Twixes for you. I don't use it, and it creates one framers, but it just makes editing a lot easier. And then if you press Control and Space, this is FX Console. I'll also leave a link to this if you want it. And I'm basically just gonna use S-Shake for these first couple shakes. When it comes to shakes, I honestly like to we'll start with high frequency first instead of low. These are my base settings, 2.4. I kept my frequency on 11. Turn motion blur on, put it to like 0.210 or like 0.123. Nothing too crazy. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll just do 0.210 because that's what I normally do. My X random amp will usually be depending on the clip. So like, for example, I kind of try to mimic what he's doing. So like the way I twixed it. So if he's going like up like this, it's mainly a Y shake, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just gonna not talk about that because I don't even know how to explain it. So I'm just gonna make shakes and yeah. So 164, and then for my Y shake, I'm gonna do 101, and then my Z shake, I'm gonna do 120. My tilt, I just changed this to 3.10, and then I basically just play around with the seed until I find something that I think is good enough. Honestly, that's as simple as it gets. So I feel like another thing is scales. What I like to do after finding the seed, depending on the direction of the shake. So we'll use this one. This looks good enough. Seed also just changes your direction. I feel like I should include that. It just changes the direction of what your shake's going, etc., etc. So this shake is really aggressive. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it, since my Z shake is starting zoomed in, I'm just going to scale it up and then put it from 120 to 100. And again, normally I use regular graph editor, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to use Flow. I'll leave all my graphs in a Google Drive if anyone wants them. And basically, just add some motion file to your shake. And boom, you've just made a shake. And then I'm just gonna duplicate it and put it onto the next clip. And then again, I don't know if you guys were here. I don't know if you watched the last one, but we do the keyframe buildup, the 2 keyframe buildup. You ease it with the F9 and then drag this, select the keyframes. And again, I'll just use this graph or something along those lines and do something like this. I'll show you the first shake I just made. I don't really like that this tile is so, oh wait, this isn't even 2. Oh my god, that was 3. There we go. Do something like that. Maybe that will hide my tile a little bit better. But I kind of want this tile to go. I'm gonna do this the lazy way and just put transform and set it to like 110, or basically set it until the tile is gone. You don't have to do this. I'm only doing this for the tutorial. And basically these are the shakes I just made. So this is S-Shake, frequency on 11, and yeah, that's basically a good high frequency shake. And Oh my god, I just realized my motion tile wasn't above it. Sorry, make sure you put your motion tile above your S shake, so it can hide the tiles, especially when you scale it in or scale out or play around with the scales. Yeah, make sure you do that. I forgot to do that. So it's gonna be less tile-y now, I guess. So there's that. There's still some tile there, but that can easily be cleaned up. Anyways, on to the next shake. Staying in the 11 range, I'm just gonna keep lowering things, I guess, and I'm gonna make a Y shake instead. So what I do, because the frequency is really high, so the shakes are gonna be pretty powerful. The settings don't have to be too crazy. What I'll do is set this to 142 and set this to like 89 or something. Turn the Z shake down, maybe like 89, 92, yeah. And then we'll change this to 4. And again, play around with your seed because it's always gonna look different. And basically, I'm just gonna try my best to find a direction where it's kind of following that pattern of him going like this, where he looks up. It's not gonna be perfect, and it might not even look right at all, but you know what? That doesn't matter. So yeah, this is the closest I can get to it. It looks about right to me. And again, I'm just gonna duplicate this shake onto this clip so you can see it with the build-up. Change this to 0. F9. Use this graph. And boom. So I guess a thing about this shake is it's kind of going on for too long. So I would definitely make the graph, I would just use the graph editor, and make my own type of graph. I'll just do like this, like a really tight graph. I don't really want it to be too noticeable, like just a very calm shake. So yeah, let's try that. Yeah, look at that. That looks a lot better. It just looks a lot cleaner. It's hardly noticeable, Jesus, but the frequency is still really high. And as you can see, it like complements my movement very well, like with the clip, and the scale too. So we start zoomed in, and then boom, pops out, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm stimming. Anyways, so that's 11. I do have some shakes with 8, so we'll do 8 now. And again, before I do anything else, I'm gonna reset my graph. And again, going back to an X shake, we're gonna just do the same thing. Keeping my settings very low because I don't want it to be nothing crazy, so like 121. Keep my Y shake down at like 80. My Z shake, we're gonna actually turn this up. And again, we're gonna play around with my seed until I find something that looks about right. And I like the way that this looks because again, I'm scaled in. My scale is from 120 to 100. We're just gonna again do it again. And then, as always, duplicate the shake, and then put a 2 keyframe build-up on it. And then set this to 0. And yeah. Again, if it looks weird, just use the graph editor, and I'll show you how to a good graph for them. So like, yeah, like this, it's kind of too, it's going on for too long. What you could do is honestly move the keyframe closer, but that's the lazier way of doing it. I highly recommend just using graph editor, and I'll show you. So just pull this a little bit to the left. You want to be somewhat around here, and then pull this just down. And then depending on how, like look, this is what it looks like with it, kind of this little there's like this little empty space here. I don't know how to explain it, but see what I'm saying? It makes a bigger difference. And if I pull them closer, the shake will end faster. You can see by the amplitude settings going slowly down as I pull. So yeah, the closer, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know how to explain graphs because I honestly just started using them pretty recently. I was a flow demon, and now I'm kind of like trying to use the graph editor more. So again, this is what that shake looks like. Jesus. Again, there's a couple tiles, but you know, it's fixable with your effect usage and all that other stuff. Anyways, so now we're gonna do the lower frequencies, and for these, I mainly try to stay in between 1 through 6. So anything above 6 to me is considered higher freak, but that's personal preference. So we're gonna do 6. And for these, I honestly have my, I turn my amp down to 2 this time around. I don't keep it on 2.4, but 2.4 is usually what I have most of my amps on for all my shakes. And for these shakes, I actually like to up my motion blur because these shakes are low frequency to me, and I feel like sometimes I want them to look a certain, like high frequency even though they're actually low. And again, we'll just start with a basic Y shake. So we're gonna do higher settings since I want it to look like it's higher without having it higher. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. And then again, play around with the C to your liking. And for me, I kinda, yeah, like right here, this motion of him going down and up, I think I'm gonna like that a lot. So again, just graph it with that. If it looks weird, use Graph Editor, and I will then show you how to fix it. And this is it with the 2 keyframe buildup. And as you can see, it's very calm, very nice. Also, another thing I guess I can include, with any of the shake settings, if you want to do like a Y shake or X shake, because this is considered an X shake because it's a higher setting. If you ever want to do something like that, just use your, like if you want to flip it to a Y shake, even though I just showed you how to make an X shake, just flip the settings around and play around with the seed. That's my best advice if you ever want to change it. But as you can see, it looks pretty good to me. This shake is really good. Actually, I really do like this shake. And for my final low frequency shake, it's still going to be roughly an X shake, but not really. I like to have my my frequency on 3. 3, 4, and 6 are the main ones I use. I'm pretty sure I used 3 in my last tutorial, but I'm not too sure. Again, I use lower settings for my low frequencies. It's like 131, and then 75. I'm actually gonna make this even lower. We're gonna make this like 54. And again, since it's really low, we want our yeah. So again, trying to find that nice little seed placement. It's very tedious, but once you get the hang of it and you stop caring, it will be worth it. So these are like a lot calmer shakes to me, at least. My shakes are usually really high, so this is really nice. This might look nice. I actually have no idea what this looks like just yet. And there we go. Yeah, it's hardly noticeable, but that's kind of a good thing. I don't know. Let me see. I can try to make this a little bit more noticeable by playing around with my frequency. Make it a little bit higher. Okay, let's try that. I guess I should say this now. Most people into their tutorials, they kind of just have like a script or something. I'm just straight winging this. I actually have no idea what any of this looks like. I know the settings, but not really anything else. Like, I don't know what it's gonna look like. So this is all kind of new to me. But yeah, I guess I added a little bit more bounce to it. Yeah, a little more bounce. Looks a lot better. Still, 4.49 frequency. And yeah, all right, now onto Dissolve Shake. For Dissolve Shake, think of S shake as more movement, and think of Dissolve as impact, or like more aggressive, if that makes sense. So my settings for Dissolve Shake is really weird. I honestly don't use them that much as I used to. So I'm gonna try my best to show you some settings. So I always keep my dissolve percent on 25. My dissolve speed stays around like 10 or 9. I don't really know the difference, so I don't know. But my amp is usually, again, 2.4 or 2.7 for dissolve. I think it's a little bit higher. And again, we'll do a high frequency and then turn down our motion blur. And then again, we'll just create a shake. I'm only going to show you an X shake and a Y shake for these because I'm not that good with them and I don't want, how do I say this? I forgot what I was about to say. I don't really want you guys to like ask me for it, and I don't really know how to explain it because I don't know what I'm doing either. So again, we'll do a 121. This is a pretty aggressive shake, but you'll see what I mean by it's more impact than bouncy / movement, and you'll literally see when the shake plays because it's not a lot of movement, but it, you know, it makes sense to me at least. I don't know. Again, set this to 0, and you have just created a dissolve shake. As you can see, very like, you know, I don't know if you can tell by the impact, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's basically my main settings for it. I guess I could show you an X shake that I normally use, which was, I mean a Y shake, oops, sorry. I think it was 8. Oh wait, oops, I'm changing the wrong settings. Let me delete that. It was 8 frequency, and then my Y shake was like 210. This was like 142. And again, play around with the seed. Oh, and that last shake I just showed you, I didn't even change the seed, so please change the seed if you want to like make it look like your own. Make sure you play around with the seed. Put this back to 0. Yeah, so honestly, this shake complements this clip a lot more than it does this one, but again, simple shakes, nothing crazy. Alright, now you have that. Now, on to the K-pop clip I found. I don't know, I found this on YouTube, it looked interesting, so we're just gonna do this. Basically, the way I remap it is a lot different than everyone else. I use Twixtor Pro, unlike a lot of people. I know some people just use regular remap, but I use Twixtor, and I'm gonna quickly just Twix this, and then, yeah. So let's say oddly, you really just wanted to do this, and this is the clip you want to remap. It's weird because on IRL or remap edits, whatever they're called, I use actually higher frequency, like even higher than 11. I am normally on like 15. Apparently it's weird to do that. I don't know why, but for some reason, I just really like the way they look. It's no like, I don't know. I don't know why they're this high, but my settings are just cranked to the max basically, and I just use really sharp graphs so that they don't stand out that much. So again, try your best to find the seed. I don't really know how to explain this, so yeah, let's do like this, I guess, for now. Again, put motion tile on your shake in case we do scale or anything. I don't think I'm gonna put any scales on any of these clips. I might put a scale on the second clip, but that's about it. So yeah, you have this, okay? You, of course, put it to 0, and for these, all my IRL / remap edits, whatever, I use regular graph editor. So what you want to do is pull this sideways. It has to be really sharp, like barely even noticeable, because most of my IRL / remap edits are just a lot of one framers. So yeah, something like that. Honestly, I might even turn this down. I don't even think it needs to be that high. Play with the seed some more. I might let my shake play out a little bit more. I feel like it's a little too sharp. Give it some opening. Pull this up. Like that. Alright. And again, this is what it will look like with the 2 keyframe buildup. And I'm not going to replicate that graph. I'm just going to use this one. I'm going to add a little scale to it because why not? Who cares? Yeah, calm shakes. That's basically it for the IRL things. I just crank your settings up. Maybe you could turn the frequency down, but have these high. It's really up to you, personal preference. But that's basically all I have for today. I just really wanted to make an updated shake tutorial because a lot of people, as time goes on, you know, people want to know how to use them better and what settings, and I understand that. So I thought I would just quickly make something, put this together for you guys. Again, thank you guys for 2.5K. It has been an amazing journey, and yeah, I think that's it. I guess to add on to this little outro, I will try to do a favorite effects part 3. I'm kind of out of effects to show because that's really all I use. However, I do plan on making a touch designer tutorial soon because I have been learning some things. Same thing with Blender. I did just recently learn something, and Cinema 4D. I did just learn something too on there. I've been learning a lot of different other things, but still trying to stay consistent and just, you know, edit. And yeah, if you want to see me post, I guess, if you want to just see my edits besides my tutorials, my Instagram and TikTok, my Twitter, pretty much any social internet will be on. It's just my YouTube name, Suyor. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.